flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Gentlemen, we do have one addition to the agenda tonight. We'll make it number 3A, if that's all right.
3A. Yes, sir. Do we need a motion to add item 3A to the agenda?
I think we do. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second. All in favor? Aye. Thank you. All right, is there a motion to approve the minutes from the last public business meeting?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Item number 1, we have the Allegany College of Maryland Opportunity Scholarship. Dr. Bambera? Oh.
Thank you very much for having us this afternoon. Good afternoon, commissioners, staff, and friends. On behalf of our Board of Trustees, our Foundation Board of Directors, our faculty and staff, and most importantly, our students, I'm here to thank you for your support of this program. Your investment has greatly enhanced the economic opportunities for our citizens and our community by supporting education, job training, and career preparation, as well as supporting the families and the core values that are reflected in our community. Our program is viewed as a model throughout Maryland, and we're most grateful for your vision to make this happen. The future of our region's well-being is dependent on having an educated and skilled workforce, and Allegany College of Maryland is committed to serving as an educational partner to meet this need. We will continue to develop and enhance our academic and career programs and instructional delivery to meet the needs of this community. I'm now pleased to ask David Jones to come forward and give you an update on the Opportunity Scholarship. Thank you.
Good afternoon, Commissioners, staff. Again, I'm very pleased to be here to provide a 3-year program update on the Allegany County Opportunity Scholarship Program. Every year we have the opportunity to come before you to kind of provide a celebration of what this money has done in our community. And as I provide the data today and provide a handout in just a moment, I hope you'll agree with me, just the impact has been very significant. Being a good steward of the funds that have been provided to us, which are audited every year, is really important to us. We want to be accountable, and we always are. And we're really delighted at this time to provide a copy of the fiscal year 17 report. Wow. If I could hand that out.
Please.
I'd like to just take a moment and go through the report with you. Again, I don't want to read it to you, but hopefully it'll tell you, give a very good snapshot of the program established. This is the 3rd full year. Inside of this book, it has a scholarship program overview, some fast facts that I'll go through, the different award types to show the variety of support that's available, the program impact, which to me is the most meaningful part of the program, and the economic impact of this as well. And if I could, show you other copies as well, please. Inside your front cover, the program overview is at the top, but I think the fast facts help to tell the story more than anything else. A quick overview of the impact of these funds. Recipients represent every community in our county. I think that's really significant. From every corner of the county, the awards have benefited our citizens. Also, students from every public and private high school in the county, as well as homeschooled and GED students have been awarded funding through this program in the past year. Recipients have included students from nearly every major and every curriculum of the college. The average age of the recipient is 24, with a range of 18 to 57. It helps to show that it not only benefits the traditional 18-year-old, but many, many non-traditional single-parent families and parents that have benefited from this. The Jump Start program has helped early college students who are free and reduced lunch. The Merit Scholarship encourages academic excellence. Over 250 awards have been made. The subsidy for credit students helps to cover costs that are not met by state and federal aid, over 250 awards have been met. And also to help support the business community that we serve, our workforce development component has provided over 200 awards over the past year as well. Again, the depth and the breadth of this program is very extensive in our county. The 4 award types are listed there, and I don't want to go through and read that to you, but it just shows, again, the depth and the breadth of the scholarship program. In the centerfold, the program impact, you'll see more details about the program impact. It lists the credit major programs, the students from those programs that have benefited over the past year. It talks about the number of awards that have been given for summer, spring, fall as far as workforce development. It also shows the average GPA of a 3.36, as well as 44 recipients had a 3.75 or above grade point average, again showing the impact of this. On the workforce development side of this, areas such as advanced manufacturing, industrial maintenance, the IT Center of Excellence, Weldon, computer control, real estate. Those are just a sample listing of some of the programs and the students who have benefited from this investment. Again, every high school from Allegany High School through Mountain Ridge, public, private, homeschool, GED is represented, as well as all the incorporated cities in our county. Again, just showing every aspect of this community that has benefited. Inside the back cover, you'll see the economic impact of the college. And I think education and the scholarship program go hand in hand in many ways. This is an outside agency who came in and provided an economic impact study for the college. And these rates, again, are not our numbers, but their numbers. But we're here to just show the impact of the college and how these funds really interact with the college. Our students have a 15.4% rate of return on their investment. Expands the Maryland tax base by over $9 million each year. From a taxpayer perspective, they see for every dollar of support, they see a return of $1.60, a pretty good return. State and local governments see an annual rate of return of 4.8% of their support of ACM. And just 2 years ago, the most recent study from the Brookings Institution, a private think tank, they rated ACM one of the top 20 community and technical colleges in the country as they add to the future economic success of graduates. Again, numbers that they came back and told us, so we're really proud that they've identified us as being a top 20 in the whole country, which means we're in the top 1%. Probably the student thank you letters that we get all the time tell the story even more so. And I went through and just randomly picked probably 10 or 12 thank you notes inside the front cover. And you'll see in this booklet, these are words right from the students. These are unedited words from them as part of notes. The top one says, "I'm a working mom with 2 young children and going back to school is not easy. I will be forever grateful for your generosity. This will allow me to better my future and my family's future." Another student says, "It's a very trying times being a full-time, non-traditional student as well as a single mom. The scholarship is extremely appreciated." Others say, "As a student as well as a wife and a mother who works 2 jobs, receiving this scholarship gives me peace of mind that the semester is paid for and I can focus on my grades." If I may, I'd like to present the commissioners with all the original thank you letters from the hundreds and hundreds of students who have received this. You'll find heartwarming notes that are included here. What we've also done is we have copied and duplicated sometimes many thank you letters on a single page, front and back, a copy of every single thank you letter. And I think it's a personal thank you letter to you, just to show you as a package for this past year, the impact of this scholarship opportunity in our community. Every single thank you letter is included in this booklet. And as you look through and you see the impact of these letters, you'll see some of the quotes that were included in the annual report. But you'll see personal notes. Some are formal business letters, some are handwritten notes on cards, but each one just talks about their deep appreciation, the impact of the Opportunity Scholarship, and the investment that you have made in their lives. So again, on behalf of the college and the foundation, most importantly on behalf of the hundreds of students, I say thank you for your investment. Wow. At this time, I'm real pleased to introduce the president of the ACM Foundation, Dr. Audie Clinroy.
And personally, I'd like to invite each and every one of you to come to one of our meetings, because we always have 2 or 3 students come in and tell how this has changed their lives. And when you're sitting there listening to some of these people that don't have anything, that finally making something of themselves, it gets you kind of right here, and then you go to right here, you know? Allegany College of Maryland works collaboratively to better economic development opportunities and provide the education, job training, and career preparation services needed by our residents. This college makes an impact like no other entity in our community. The comprehensive scholarship statistics are impressive. The documented economic impact shown by the students, external entities is very powerful, but more the quotes from the students. That's what makes it. Our Allegheny County residents show that this program is life-changing. The front cover of the report says impact, and I can't think of a better word to show the importance of this program. Again, we're most grateful for your support and investment in our community. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Audie. Thank you all for coming. Appreciate it.
Commissioners, can we get a photograph
Yeah.
of our friends from ACM, all of them today? Brett?
All right.
Front here, please. It's a good thing, isn't it?
Come on, doctor. Sit in the middle. Yep, right in the middle.
Doctors.
Good to see you.
You could move closer so we can get more so between the flags and not at the ends.
Perhaps I should go with this.
Thank you. I take about 3.
Thank you, Brett.
Final one. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you.
Thank you so much.
You take care of something. Don't be a stranger. He's strange, but not strange.
All righty. Resolution 17-22 is Prince Albert Sunnyside Water Project. It's a $300,000 MDE loan resolution. Mr. Bennett.
Good evening. Well, as you mentioned in front of you tonight, for your approval is a loan resolution to close on the Prince Albert Sunnyside Water Project MDE loan. What it is, it's another 50/50 loan forgiveness project through MDE. So even though we're seeking $300,000, it's actually going to end up being a $150,000 loan to the
Fantastic.
residents at the end of the day.
Great.
$150,000 will be forgiven once we execute this. So just a quick update on Prince Albert Sunnyside. It's a total $1.6 million project. As of now, we've got funding from CDBG, MDE in the form of loan and grant, and USDA in the form of loan and grant. It just started in June, and they're estimating essentially a 1-year completion, which would be next June. It's going to serve 60-plus residents in that area. We originally authorized this resolution, or this loan, with Bond Bill 5-15 a couple years ago, as we saw this project come in. As we close this loan, it's going to be at 0.7% interest, which is a very good rate, and we're going to use a 30-year term. So it's going to leave debt service at about $5,500 annually, and that'll be paid by the users of the system. So
Well, good.
with your approval, we'll move forward with MDE towards closing. They haven't set a closing date yet, but this will get us all lined up and ready to roll when they're ready.
Great.
I'll make a motion.
Long time coming. Is there a second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Thanks, Jason.
Thank you.
Item number 3, Mr. Bennett, Alconet and Conex.
Okay, also what you have in front of you tonight is a new agreement between Alconet and Connex. This will memorialize our Alconet partnership agreement, which has been ongoing for 20 years now. It's in a different form now than it was before. As you know, years ago, this was a partnership amongst the Board of Ed, us, the library, the city of Cumberland. In recent years, those entities have backed out of the Alconet partnership agreement, leaving essentially Allegheny County running Alconet. So what we've done is reworked the agreement with Connex to reflect that activity. And I will say, as part of this agreement, Alconet is still very much viable. It's still very much a resource for us. It's where all of county government's internet flows through. And it flows through at essentially an extremely discounted rate for us versus what we pay on the market. We maintain the system. Connects helps run the system day to day. And like I say, this agreement essentially memorializes that, allows them to give part of their revenues back to us as they're collecting it. So served us well for 20 years. This is a 5-year agreement. And it has a automatic renewal for 5 more years in it, so 10 more years of good service with your approval. And also here tonight is Dave Karcher from Connects. Dave, if you'd like to say anything, you're more than welcome.
Sure. Just to give you, we have really, with the upgrades that have been done on Allegany, we have made substantial new efforts in marketing. So far this year, we've added about 150 new customers, and with our goal of adding an additional, at least that many more. The network is operating well. We serve some of the very large, we provide service to ATK, we provide service to Hunter Douglas, some of the other larger entities here, and work closely with them. And so it's a very valuable, very viable service still, and it's operating well. And we still see a lot of really good years ahead for Allegany. So we work great with the county, with our technical resources and everything, we're able to keep the network healthy and make it work well for everything the county needs, as well as for providing services out in the community. So.
Great. Any discussion? Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye. Thank you.
Thank you.
And
Yeah,
thank
Jason.
you for that, and if I could.
Please.
Dave,
Please.
you- okay.
And let's talk about tax bills for a
Yeah,
moment, please.
I'd like to segue just briefly and just give you an update. I think at the last commissioner meeting, I updated you that they'd be just a little bit late this year because of our new software, which just went live June 1st. So tonight, I'm happy to update you to tell you that we've sent the file for all of the tax bills to our printer. It went yesterday to them. They finalized everything. They are printing them as we speak. So at this point, our estimate is residents will receive them in their mailboxes in the next week to 10 days. So it's, for us, maybe 10 days later than the norm. But this was a little bit of growing pains, to be quite honest, as we move forward with new software for the first time in 16 years. So it was a big upgrade for us. We've made it through. We've made it over the hump. Next year, obviously, will be much smoother, and we'll be back on schedule. But nonetheless, tax bills are on their way. We're still going to have a discount period running through the end of August, so there's still a full month to pay with discount. So just wanted to give you a quick update tonight to keep you in the loop on that. Like I say, we did a press release a couple weeks ago, but just to officially put it out there, they're on their way now.
Creed was just saying he was hoping you could delay his, another 2-3 months or so?
Yeah, 150, 200 years, something like that. Yeah.
So Bill, write that down. We'll have them at the next tax sale, I guess.
That's right. Yeah, the next tax sale, yeah. Yeah. Yeah, thank you, appreciate that.
You could own a commissioner's mansion.
Yeah,
At a bargain basement price.
yeah.
That's right.
Thanks, Jim.
Thanks, Jason.
I do
Thank you,
not want to
guys.
go bid for my own house.
All right, gentlemen, item number 3, this was the addition. This would authorize the Director of Department of Economic Community Development to contact outside parties involving solicitation of an economic development strategic plan that would provide a framework to enable the county to pursue a comprehensive economic development plan. And I'll say this, I think it's needed to give us a little bit of focus on where we need to target, both what industries and where they should be located, but the bigger piece is what can the county do to help spur that development. So I'm happy to support this, and it's coming out of the RBF, Economic Development Fund, and I think this is something that will get started here in the next couple months and hopefully be completed sometime next year.
Is that a motion, sir?
And I'll make that motion.
And I'll second it so we can open it up for just a little discussion for our comments.
All right, any further discussion?
Bill, you have any?
Yes, basically, this is something I don't favor at this time. I'm not saying it wouldn't be something good in the future, but Right now, there's a rather large study being performed on Route 68 sighting study that before we even think about doing a study, I think we need to see the results of that study. We've got a fairground study that we paid to have done. Basically, I don't think anybody on this board was overly happy with the results of that study. But we've got that study. It's basically sitting on the shelf, gathering dust. We've got a rather large project at Cumberland Chase that we've studied. We're waiting to get started on that. So I think we've got a lot of stuff, a lot of irons in the fire right now. And basically, as I say, over the years, I've seen outside study after outside study after outside study, and they just never seem to produce what they promised to produce. These companies come in, and basically the way they do the study, they'll ask Jake what he thinks ought to happen, they'll ask Craig what he thinks, they'll ask me, they'll ask Dave, and that's the way the study's done. Well, if they're going to ask the local people, why shouldn't the local people be the ones doing the plan in the first place? The fairground study, it's nice to have the study, but I saw very little in that study that we hadn't already discussed doing before. Some of the things that weren't things that we discussed were items I don't think made any of us happy. So personally, I don't think this is the time to do another study until we see what happens with the Route 68 study that's being done, until we do whatever we're going to do at Cumberland Chase. I know the airport's done their own studies over there. They're looking at development at the airport. So we've got a lot of irons in the fire. And plus, Allegany County reality says there are not that many new places where we can do major development. What we have to do is take care of redevelopment when it becomes available. And there's a lot of outside forces whenever it comes to any type of development that those studies just don't take that into consideration right now. So something maybe in the future, but personally, this isn't something that I favor at this time. I think we just have to sit and look at what we've already got going and take action on some of that stuff to start moving forward.
Well, sir, I believe you was going to tie this into the I-68 study, correct?
That is correct, and I think we get this started now, and then and we'll wait till I-68 is completed, and then Mr. Barclay will start this. But in the meantime, it's good to be thinking about where we're headed and what exactly we want in a study. And I think the key part that Commissioner Valentine did hit on is we have all these little studies, but we don't have something that unifies us, that has goals, and we can measure whether we're doing good or doing bad or where we're headed. So that's why I'm supportive of this, and I make a motion that we approve it.
Well, normally, as you know how I feel about studies, they always say the first thing you do is need to put a committee together, come up with a plan, and then the plan says you need to put a committee together to come up with a different plan, and then you're just a dog chasing its tail, and usually after a couple $100,000, it runs in a circle. But some things has changed here recently with the acquisition of some property at Cumberland Chase and with the RETSA program. So I do think it's in our best interest at this point to get something started without, and keeping a very, very close eye on this as this goes forward. Because I know next year we was up to get redone anyhow, so I hope everything ties together, but I don't like kicking the can down the road either. So
Great.
let's take a vote.
All in favor? Aye. All opposed?
Nay.
All right. Thank you. Moving to our consent agenda. Mr. Eberly.
Commissioners, good afternoon. Tonight we have 5 items on your consent agenda for possible action. Item 4 is a motion to reappoint Mr. Everett Ebb Spiker to the Housing Authority of Allegany County. Item 5 is a motion to approve a right-of-way agreement with Catherine Armstrong and Charles and Emma Armstrong to help address a right-of-way alignment issue along Long Hill Drive, which is a piece of right-of-way that accesses Route 220 down near Barton Farm. Item 6 is a motion to declare surplus 2 vehicles under the control of the Allegany County Sheriff's Office and authorize their disposal either by sale or trade. Item 7 is a motion to authorize the president to sign a grant application agreement for the rental allowance program for fiscal 2018 and authorize the administrator to execute a services agreement with HRDC for general admin. Item 8 is a motion to approve Resolution 17-21, amending the county's rules and regulations to update our employees' classification schedule. Commissioners, this resolution is being submitted on behalf of our HR department as it relates to the expansion of our EMS division in the county.
Any discussion?
No, sir.
Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Mr. Everly.
Commissioners, earlier this week, I had an opportunity, along with Jeff Barkley, to attend a meeting at Frostburg State University with Dr. Ron Nowacek. Each and every year, the university selects 12 undergraduate students to participate on the President's Leadership Circle. This is a very competitive exercise which brings in applications from all over campus, and it's for the undergraduate program. And during the academic year, the students are provided with unique opportunities to engage and learn leadership skills. And most recently, some of the teams that were selected actually traveled abroad and traveled to Africa and worked on a water distribution program over there. Commissioners, this year Dr. Nowacek is seeking our input on potential leadership projects that both Garrett and Allegany County might be interested in doing. And Mr. Barkley and I are looking forward to an opportunity in the next couple of weeks to meet again with Dr. Nowacek and his team to discuss some possible economic development initiatives that we could utilize some student assistance with. So stay tuned, and I'll be back in touch with you in a couple weeks.
Maybe we'll tie that into what we just took a vote on.
Great. Mr. Rudd.
I have nothing.
Any legal advice? Nothing.
Not that you want to hear.
All right. Yeah, it's pro bono. Mr. Valentine.
A few quick things, since we're talking economic development tonight. I think one of the key things that ACM brought to us about our scholarship fund, they gave out over 200 workforce development awards. And if we're going to have any economic development, we have got to create a workforce that is capable of doing the jobs of tomorrow and bring people there. I know that's one problem that we always find. We have lots and lots of firms in this county right now that could grow, could expand, but they cannot find the workforce that they need. That is the key issue for me with economic development. We have to create a workforce. Secondly, as you all know, I'm the county's representative to MACO, and MACO is a fantastic organization. They work hard for all the counties. I'm very proud to sit on their boards, but sadly, there was a little bit of an issue this year that shouldn't be, and it shows how bad this country is getting whenever it comes to R's and D's. Some of the past presidents that we've had at MACO, David Craig, who went on to become a candidate for governor, Republican. You had Ken Ullman, went on to be a candidate for a high office in the state of Maryland, strong Democrat. Ingrid Turner, very strong Democrat. She's from Prince George's County. We had Rick Pollock, who was a Republican. Tom Duncan, who's known statewide. All these people were very good. We had Ike Leggett, which he is the exec for Montgomery County, fantastic guy, very strong Democrat, but everybody worked well within MACO. We didn't worry about R's and D's. Every year, the president visits every county in the state, along with the executive director, Michael Sanderson. Sadly, this year, we have a gentleman by the name of Kevin Kamenetz, who is the exec for Baltimore County. He's also running for governor. He wants to make everything a very partisan issue. He was scheduled for a visit to Allegany County, as all these other past presidents have done. That was just last week. They rescheduled four different times to get Mr. Kamenetz here. When the visit happened, the representative from MACO was Mr. John Barr, who's our most recent past president. John's an absolutely fantastic guy. I know I was glad to see John here rather than Mr. Kamenetz. Probably kept Creed out of jail by having John here rather than Mr. Kamenetz, but it's sad to say, and all three commissioners will be attending the Mako Summer Conference in just a few weeks. And the biggest job we've got at Mako this year is to keep that organization nonpartisan. I mean, that's the only way all the counties can work together for what's best for the state. But it's a little bit of a battle this year.
Great,
Thank
thanks.
you, Bill. At least we know where we stand with Mr. Kamenetz, huh?
The fact that he didn't show, I think that
That's what I
tells
mean.
us something.
Commissioner Brody?
I'm only going to be a second because I got to run. I got another meeting I got to be to in less than 20 minutes. I'm going to stay positive because I want to thank everyone for making the fair a success this year. It was very good. The turnout was good. The weather was a little warm, but it was good. But our volunteer staff that works out there, the people that helped Kevin, the sheriff's department, fire police. Danny, what did you tell me? I had almost 600 hours of service out there this week?
We had 21 men put in 97 days with 695 hours.
Almost 700 hours. That's fantastic. Well, I want to publicly thank everyone and thank the citizens because it was a very nice time. And where else could you go in Allegany County and see Trace Atkins, which put on a fantastic show? So, gentlemen, with that being said, I do need to run.
All
How
right.
many of those big hamburgers did you eat this year?
As many as I could. 3 of them.
Oh, wait a minute, Commissioner, before you leave, who won the weigh-in?
I don't know because I couldn't get out there to weigh out, so I don't know. 'Cause
Okay.
every year we get in a contest to see who can put on the most weight the week of the fair, and I haven't
Jake
won
won
it
this year.
yet.
See, I have
Jake
the
won.
lower bait, and yeah, this percentage.
Oh, I sure tried, but
See.
I haven't been able to claim that title yet. Thank you.
See ya.
And the Trace Atkins concert and one of the other concerts covered their costs, so that was great that they were that popular. In 2 weeks we have Secretary of Dollar Kelly Schultz coming to town, so that ties right into our workforce development theme, and I'm sure her schedule will be coming out here shortly. Signed up to speak, we do have Mr. Kenneth Wilmot.
Kenneth Wilmot, live at 513 Ford Avenue, Cumberland, Maryland. I'm back in reference to the speech that Mr. DeVore made last week. He made several statements. The whole thing he said was just lip service to everybody. He stated that feral cats only live 3 years. That's about as bunch of baloney as you can think of. There's 10 feral cats in my neighborhood, and they've been there for a lot longer than 3 years. And you talk to other people, they'll tell you the same thing. Just take, for instance, this is taken right out of the computer. A feral cat kills 552 birds every year. 500, that's one cat.
Where did you get that number, Mr. Wilmot?
Off the internet, right out, and also out in the newspaper. Now then, 10 cats, that means they kill 5,520 birds a year. 100 cats, they kill 55,200 cats, or birds a year. 1,000 cats, they kill 552,000. 10,000 cats kill 5,552,000. And in Allegany County, we have at least 40,000 cats, feral cats. It hasn't been too long ago that was in the newspaper and on Yahoo News. Washington, D.C. has a vast feral cat problem. They got 40,000 feral cats. Heaven forbid. Now then, he also stated cats are free-roaming animals. I have been told this for the last 6 years by everybody at the shelter, and I have asked them, quote me by paragraph and page, where a cat is allowed to roam free, allowed to come on my property or yours, kill animals, use your fire bed for a party. It doesn't exist, never will. If people got any common sense, anyway. Then he made a statement that the shelter was at the lowest count of cats in years. Well, the next day I was discussing this whole speech with a friend, and when I told her that what he said about the lowest count, she said, "That's a lie." She said, "I got a friend that picked up a cat just the other day up along in the Vale on the road, afraid to get run over. She called the shelter, and the shelter said, 'We're not taking cats. They're filled up.'" And they've been filled. 3 months after they even went into operation. Now then, it ain't been too long. 2 years ago, the president of this foundation stood right here and stated that their trap, neuter, and release program was a huge success. They had trapped, neutered, and released hundreds of cats. Hundreds of them. Now you read in the paper, they're soliciting money for somebody to go out and trap these cats and spay and neuter them. There's something wrong somewhere. This trap, neuter, release program, they did 66 cats. So that means they got in the city of Carmel, about 20,000. So they got 19,934 more cats to catch and neuter. Okay, I've been reading up on this trap, neuter, and release. Before you get a trapper's license, you got to have a hunting license. Then before you get your trapping license, you got to take a course and pass it. And then if you trap, it's just like hunting. You've got to have written permission in your pocket to be on that person's property. Without it, you're subject to being fined. Feral cats are of no value. So what do we achieve by saving all these 40,000 cats? Nothing. Absolutely nothing. Again, federal law requires an impact study before releasing any animal out into the environment. That's a federal law. You're putting cats back out all over Allegany County. When all this started, I asked at a board meeting, where are all these pods that they had it in the newspaper that they were creating pods of feral cats. I asked, where are these pods? It's none of your business. That's what I was told. And then to illustrate these pods are being taken care of, we got volunteers, hundreds of volunteers, who goes out and feeds them. Yeah.
1 minute.
Have I used 10 minutes?
No, you got 1 to go.
I'll just put it in the newspaper, the rest of it. Thank you.
And
I mean,
Mr.
you've got
Wilmot,
no interest in the
on
health and welfare of the people of this county.
on the trapping issue, that is only for fur, what they call fur-bearing animals. That is an animal that you can sell their fur, like for beavers, for raccoon. That's not for any animal.
It pertains to everybody. If
No,
you
sir.
set a trap out, you got to have a license.
I've had hunting license since I was 16 years old, and I've had trapper's license. I know the laws. What you're quoting is for fur-bearing animals.
No, it's for all animals. I got a copy of the law.
You're wrong on
You
that.
can't make excuses for people going on other people's property and trapping animals. They have no authority. You people don't have sovereign reign over my property or anybody's. They can't just go out and trap animals. The city of Los Angeles lost a fight in court. They were running trap, neuter, and release. You've got to have this impact study. Cats are an absolute negative effect on everybody. Anyway, and then also, federal law prohibits using taxpayers' money to neuter any animal. If you want to neuter something, you got to pay for it yourself, not the taxpayer. But anyway,
All right. Thank you, sir.
it's just absurd that the money we're spending on feral cats. And when you multiply that by how many counties we got in Maryland, it's unbelievable the amount of money wasted.
All righty. Our next public business meeting is Thursday, August 10th at 5 o'clock. See you then. Meeting adjourned.
Well, there we go.